Góðan daginn. Í dag ætla ég að tala fókusdýpt og hvernig ég nota hana í myndunum mínum. Good morning. Maybe you noticed that I wasn't speaking English when I talked to you earlier. This was Icelandic, my language. And I was telling you what I'm going to do in today's video. Today I'm going to talk about depth of field and how I use it in my images. So let's go and take a look how I do it. So when we talk about shallow depth of field, then we have something blurry in the foreground or blurry in the background. You've all seen it if you use your largest aperture like f2.8 or f4. You can have a blurry part of the image depending on how close you are to the foreground or how you build it up. For example, if I'm using this moss here above me, I'm just underneath a small cave near the Gluggafoss waterfall, and this roof can be used as a foreground, but it is on top of the image. I can use it as a blurry foreground and make the background sharp. And if I'm using my 16 to 35 millimeter lens, it is going to be 2.8. I'm going to use this icicle here as a blurry foreground and taking a picture of the waterfall in the back. I'm shooting with a 1635, so it's not going to be a very obvious foreground, but still it's going to be soft here on the side, and the waterfall is going to be sharp in the background. So with this setting, I'm shooting at f2.8, and that gives me the depth of field that I'm looking for. I'm gonna get some few more shots here like this, and then I'm going to change to a telephoto, which makes it even more obvious what I'm showing you. I can reverse it, shooting at maybe 22, which is, well, a little bit extreme, f16, and then I can get everything in focus. And it is a little bit different, you know, each lens has its own focal length. So my lens is 16 to 35, and usually when I'm shooting at f16, everything that is about 50 centimeters from the lens and up to infinity is in focus. Maybe it's just about 1 meter, but then you have to focus maybe 1/3 into the image. So it's going to be focusing both back and forward. Each lens has its own setting or sweet spot, so you can find it on the internet what your lens, how your lens is best when you are focusing, and if you don't want to focus stack, just get it in one shot. So I'm setting my camera to f16 now, and I'm going to take a few shots here. You may be wondering why I am inside this canyon. Even a few meters away from the waterfall, it's quite windy. So the wind is coming down into like the water and rushes forward. Just when I was underneath the cliff over there, I was in a shelter. But here it's so windy, I have to hold my tripod, so it's not going to blow over. So I think I'm going to go down there again to the flatland, even though it was very strong wind there also, and talk a little bit more about depth of field. I was talking about earlier that shooting with a telephoto is a little bit different with a depth of field. I'm going to shoot that waterfall now through this grass here, which is going to be blurry in the foreground, and that's now how I use it at f5.6, which is the widest aperture, and shooting it through the grass here gives it a blurry effect in the foreground. Like this. If you are close to the grass, it's even going to be just like a loss of color. So this way you can introduce the depth of field with your telephoto lens. Just getting close to something in the foreground, which gives it maybe another color or another, you know, something dark, something bright or colorful, that gives the image a little something that you would not expect to be there. And finally, just one image of my car. Is sometimes a good reference, and this shows also a good use of depth of field, shooting at f5.6, and then the background is blurry. And I also have this tiny grass here in the foreground. Yeah, this looks nice. So we have come to the end of this video. I am here at Glukkafoss waterfall, and it is quite windy here. Not the first windy day in this winter, or maybe not the last either. It has been pretty bad for the last few days, and today we were a little bit discussing depth of field. And you have seen a few of the shots that I made here earlier. And in the end of the video, I'm going to show you a few of my other photos that I have done, that I have made in the last couple of years, maybe 3-4 years, where I'm using this shallow depth of field, where the foreground is blurry and the background is sharp, or vice versa. Just to give you an idea how you can use this technique, and it can be, make your pictures a little bit more lively, more interesting, especially if you find a small flower in the foreground. We don't have any flowers now, so I'm just using old grass that is standing out from the snow. But in the summer, there are more options, more colorful options to use. This video is one of the photography challenges that me and Arjan Wilmsen have been doing. He is making his video in Holland and I'm making mine here in Iceland. I thank you for watching. If you like this video, please press the thumbs up and subscribe if you have not. And we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.